Hello everybody, it's Scott O'Mato, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install things in the extras folder here in the YogBox install. I've had several people ask me about that. They're wanting to install the YogBox extra mods. Okay, now this is the installer for YogBox that came with it. It doesn't really work. I'm not going to even mess with it because I don't want it messing with my .minecraft folder. Thus, we're using MultiMC for stuff to be able to handle it. But basically, in this installer, you could go through and choose which mods that you wanted, right? That's what was contained in the extras folder. So there was categories. That's what you're seeing here, is that when it says core mods is just some descriptions of, they had to give credits to everything. Keep in mind, there was no like central location to get mods at that time, and so everybody had to get specific permissions and do all that. So that's what this files are. The description is basically giving everybody permission or giving everybody credits, and then they had these categories: environment, gameplay, mob, terrain, tweak, and all that. And that's what that is. That's categories that was in the selection of mods. All right, but we're going to need to do it manually. We're going to have to go through and do it manually. And each one of these is a little bit different in how you do it, but there is some common ideas, okay, that you're going to see. So let's look here at the millionaire. Okay, you got your description that'll tell you, and sometimes it will tell you a little bit about where to put stuff, but not really, because it was trying to deal with the installer. It didn't assume you were going to manually install. The image was what would be shown in the installer. All right, so what it's doing, let's look at a common theme. All right, when it says resources folder, that means the .minecraft folder for your instance. So we're doing MultiMC. That's what we do in these videos. We're doing MultiMC. So here I have this instance in MultiMC and name YogBox, right? And so when I open it up, edit instance, I can see all my information about what's installed. So you'll have to look at my other video, but I have core mod, I have APIs. Those are the core files for YogBox. Then the loader mods are here, and they're in the mods folder. Okay, so if you open this YogBox here by choosing instance folder, then you'll see that in your .minecraft here, which is a hidden folder on the Mac, but on PC you can see it. .minecraft, it in the mods folder is going to have where those mods are, okay? But it also has this resources folder. That's not the folder it's talking about. It's a little confusing in that regard. It is using .minecraft as the resources in this list, okay? Now that's, again, kind of confusing, but that's the way they did it. So what this means is when they're saying resources right here, they mean .minecraft. So what that's saying is if you want to install Millionaire, okay, then you want to put Millionaire and Millionaire Custom in the .minecraft folder. Just whenever you see this resources at this top level here, translate that to .minecraft, all right? And then the mods folder, this goes in the mods folder. Okay, so it's saying .minecraft mods folder is where that goes. Okay, so once you've got Millionaire installed, and Millionaire, you don't have to actually do anything. In this case, it's already got a zip file. You can open the zip file to verify what's in it. Again, in Windows, it's kind of like a zip folder. You could just open it and look in it, and Mac, I have to decompress it to look at it. But see, it's got all of the base class files. That's what you're interested in. You're interested in what has this base class files, and then there'll be a few folders in there. You want to make zip archives of those, and I'll show you how to do that. But this one's okay. We don't have to do anything with it. So I could just throw that away right there. Ignore the DS store and stuff. That's Mac stuff that you won't see. And because I see hidden files, I see that. All right. So this goes in the mods folder is what it boils down to. So if I want to install Millionaire, then in my .minecraft folder right here, I put Millionaire custom. Then I go to the mods folder and I add Millionaire right there. Okay, just copy and paste it in there, and you don't have to do anything else in that case. So then when I go and I look at, let me get that instance of the YogBox here that I'm loading mods in, then there's Millionaire on the list of loader mods. That's the mods folder. This is what you're modding the jar, and I'll show you that too. All right, so there you go, Millionaire. So when you launch, first of all, Millionaire will give you a message that it's installed when you launch it, just to let you know that for you to find a village and stuff, we can create a new world. It'll show us. Pretty sure on that. So again, this is fast loading because it's old beta 1.7.3. All right, let's get rid of that world and let's just create a new one. See what we get. And again, Millionaire, if it's installed, should give us a message. I'm going to show you some other ways to be sure that your mods are installed. Again, all these errors are common and they're really annoying because they pollute your log. It makes it harder to find stuff, but it not being able to find audio files, although we've already fixed all those audio files. It's just still going to do that for you. All right, see, so it says Millionaire loaded, 1.13 loaded, and it tells you the key to find a village, hit B, and it'll tell you where a village is. Okay, now we could also see that I have the seasons mod and stuff, and all that'll vary depending upon we're going to add that. All right, that's an add-on mod as well, and I'll go into detail about that. So that's how you find out that Millionaire is installed. You can search this log is a good way to do it too. Like you could say Millionaire. Let's just say Millin, and it'll show it there. That's the one that's in the mods folder. You want to go a little bit below that to get search below it, and then find, and then it'll say mod loaded right there. Mod Millionaire 1.7. So you could do that. Then the other place to check to be sure something is installed, that everything is working correctly, is in the config file. So .minecraft config, you're going to see this file called modloader.cfg. So open that in a text editor, Notepad, WordPad. I've got Text Wrangler on the Mac. Text Edit will work on the Mac as well. And you'll get this file. Okay, and it's telling you which mods are loaded. And you can also turn mods off in here, okay, by just saying off and by changing on to off. But here's the seasons mod, which was added. Here's Millionaire, which is added right there. Okay, so you could turn that off. Now you could also obviously turn off mods by clicking them here off. Like if I wanted to turn Millionaire off, I could just click that off right there. Okay, and it wouldn't load anymore. But you could also check to be here. This just helps you to see if things are loaded if you're having trouble with it, getting it loaded. But, all right, let's go back. So, Millionaire described resources folder, mods, and so on. So let's look at another one. Let's look at seasons. All right, that's the second one in the list. So in this one, it has a folder called jar, right? And jar means mod the jar here, okay? Like we did with APIs and core jar. It means add that to Minecraft jar using that button. But generally, I'm going to open it in a new tab. Generally, it's going to be in this kind of form. This won't work for multi-MC to select the folder. Multi-MC won't allow me to go through and select the folder. Okay, that doesn't work like that. So you have to make an archive of the contents of this folder. You cannot, I want to emphasize, you cannot just make a contents of this jar. You cannot just like make an archive of this. Now in the Mac, it's compressed jar. In Windows, it's add to archive, or, make archive. There's several different ways because there's several different kinds of pieces of software that can make a zip file. You could, shortcut on desktop, but there's all this kind of different ways of doing it. You need to learn how to make zip archives on your computer. That is key to what we're doing here. All right. So this jar file, this jar folder, you do not make that the archive. You make the contents of the folder. So you select everything in here. Okay. You could also do select all, you could right click in Windows. I think there's a select all. In Mac, you don't want DS Store, but the world won't end if you have it. So you just make your archive of this. Okay. So I'm just making this archive right here. Now it's a zip archive, and I would name it Seasons. It doesn't matter what you name it, but there it is. And so then you want to put that someplace where you can get it. You can keep it in this jar folder, but it gets a little confusing. So I just put it in the main folder for Seasons for this mod. So there it is right there, Seasons. That's what I did. Okay. This same thing. And then go ahead and delete this one out of here. You can keep it in here. These are just choices. The main thing is that you make an archive of all these files inside of here. These are the mod files, the class files, the folders. You'll see that over and over and over again, to where you want to get to the inside of the folder that has the class files. Then whatever folders are included in that folder as well, you include in your zip archive. Okay. So having done that, it tells us the instruction that it goes in the jar, which means it links to the jar. So here's the Seasons mod that we did that way by going to this version tab in our, get archive, edit archive, or edit instance, in the YogBox deal, right? This guy, edit instance, opens this window. And then we choose add to Minecraft jar, and then you browse out to where you need to be, where this is Seasons, and you select it and open, and it opens it, puts it right there, Seasons, and then you launch to test it. You want to do it between every mod that you add. You want to test it to make sure that works. Because then you'll, not create a big problem for yourself later where you've added all these mods and you got a problem and you don't know which one it is. Now we saw that Seasons was done because we saw the trees being, it didn't give us any message that it's installed or whatever, but we could see by the trees right there that it's installed. Again, you can go to the top of the list. You again go to the top of the list. You got to select somewhere in the list at the top. So you're searching below this, and you can type season, and it'll tell us right there that's the archive we added. We need to go below that, and then Seasons, overriding mod loaded right here, Seasons mod. Okay, tells us it's fine. Seasons is now added to this here, Seasons on. We know it worked. Okay, so if it launched and all these conditions are met, then it worked. What we did worked. So keep going. We'll look at single player RPG. Now, again, this one has its own kind of way of doing it. It says resources. That's .minecraft because there's config. Okay, so it's telling you here's your config files for it. Be sure and copy those and put those inside the config folder, not in any folder in config, at the root of config. Okay, go and find your .minecraft, get your config folder, paste. Okay, And it's important that you do that because they've set IDs and stuff. You want to do that because they have set IDs and what have you that things won't conflict. All right. So that's it for the config or for the resources, but it has, again, this jar folder. So we do the same thing. We make the archive. All right. Just like I showed you. Now we did that already. RPG, link that in to here. Now we're creating a list of by having done the add to Minecraft jar. Okay. Again, I launch and test to see, but then I can go to the log once again, and I can say RPG here on the list to be sure it's there. Find. Right there it is. Overriding RPG mod, registering, and it'll tell you it's loaded. All right. Right there. It says error reading or creating config file because, see, we just put those config files in there. But whatever, you'll see it. So it'll also tell you the actual name. In this case, it's Tom's RPG right there. It'll tell you the actual name of the mod in there. So if you just search for simple RPG, you might not have found it. So just you'll have to play with that to see. All right, so here's RPG. So that one's done too. And then the baby animals. All right. So resources, again, translate that to .minecraft. This is the mods folder. This is the resources folder. When they say resources folder here, they do actually mean the resources. All right, I'll explain that. So we'll start this one from scratch because I haven't done that one. So it's saying the mods folder. So I select that, go back here, I go into the mods folder right there. Paste. Okay, it's inside of there. Don't need to link it to the jar or anything like that. It's telling us it goes in the mods folder. Okay, guys, now doing the sound for some of these mods, like baby animals and mole creatures, is kind of strange. All right, there is this description where it says that there's the resources folder in resources, which means .minecraft resources. And then it says resources mod and sound. All right. Now we need to just translate that. We need to say that what they're trying to say, just like we had to translate what resources meant in Minecraft. What this means is that inside resources, look for a folder named sound. Just ignore this mod folder. Just act like it's telling us that, okay, it's a modded thing. We just want the sound folder inside of our resources folder. Okay, so see resources, sound. That folder exists. Put your sound files inside of there, the .ogg files. Put them inside of there. Okay, and that's where they go. Now you may have to reload your sound. This is obviously I cut away, but here we go. On this, I'm going to create a new world because I died in the other one, just trying to look for animals. Ran across a boar or whatever, and just was trying to hear the sound, and I didn't. But I know why. This will work. What you have to do is you have to reload the sounds. Okay, so let's delete this and create a new world like such. Hopefully we'll have more mole creatures sooner than what I found them in the other world. If not, then I'll cut away and come back. I don't want this video to be too long, but I do want to answer as many questions as I can in this video. Okay, so let's see. Come on, guy. All right, millionaires loaded. We're in winter, so it will pick a random season. So your seasons could be very different, depending. So we're snowing on the beach. Just kind of let everything load for a minute. And we'll see if we can locate an animal for mole creatures or baby animals. Either one, they kind of do the same thing. Should be some water animals, but anyway, we'll let this all load. So we're in a millionaire village. We're in the season. So like I said, things will start to get increasingly more challenging as far as on your CPU. But you know, that's a thing. Just have to deal with that. You can change your render distance to normal, performance instead of balanced, max FPS, you know, play with smooth lighting and all that kind of stuff. Just like you would normally. All right, give me an animal. Needs me an animal. Yeah, I would have to spend time tweaking this out because the frame rate's terrible. Of course, I'm recording video too. But yeah, I would have to tweak this out. I'm seeing no animals, which is crazy. They're usually all in your face. Okay, so that's a puppy. So let's do, you want to go F3 and S. Now I hear it. See? Did you see that? So F3S will reload your sounds. So if you know they're in the right place, let me turn the music down. Yeah, let's turn the music down. Now, where's the puppy? I heard him do his little pant. Yeah, I hear him panting. Where you go? Puppy, come here, puppy, puppy, puppy. Where you be? Yeah, the snow is a bit intense. Okay, now I hear a bird. All right, that's all I need to do because, you know, the video would be too long. So basically, you need to F3S to reload your sounds. Okay, I have another video about that in the Aether, about the Aether. You had to do that. But the sounds go in the sound folder, so treat that as instructions to put stuff. If it says mod, then it means this resources, the sound resources folder. All right, let's move on with a couple more. We'll look at it for examples. We'll see if we come across anything extremely strange. So that's mole creatures. Let's look at elemental creepers. So resources .minecraft is what that means. The config and then mods. So this one should be very straightforward. Copy these two files right here that tells it to go into the config and put them in the config folder up here, config in .minecraft. Go ahead and replace those. And then copy the mod and put it in the mods folder. Okay, so that's what it's telling us to do. That's what we did. Oops. Okay. Yeah. So let me go back. Where am I at? All right, I'm at mods extra. Yeah. So there's elemental creepers. Again, you want to do it after, you want to relaunch after each one. I'm just going to go through these folders. This is a jar one, so we need to compress these. This Raphael one or whatever, and make that. Mo creatures we already did. Ninja Ghost is a jar mod. Make your archive of that. When it says mob and stuff in that folder, just ignore that. If it's a jar and you see class files, then you want to you want to compress those class files and all folders contained within this folder. Okay, contained, not the folder itself, the contained ones. Okay, floating runes, runs, whatever, how you say it. Resources mob. So that's just a mob. Just goes in the mods folder. Those are the easiest ones. Resources mods. Good on that one. Jar. Make your archive of that one. Okay. And do that. Resources mods. Okay, that one's straightforward. Jar. We know what we got to do. Jar. We know what we got to do. Jar. Okay, so all the tweak ones are like that. There's resources. Mod options. More health. So this is enabling it. Okay, enabling it. So by default, it's maybe not enabled. And I think I remember that from my video. But this would enable it, this config. If you copy this config under mod options, so resources, okay, .minecraft is what that means. .minecraft right here. There'll be a folder called mod options. See, more health. So it's telling you to put that in there if it's not already and you want it enabled. Okay, inventory tweaks. All these, there's a jar. You know how to do that. Resources, just put that at the base level of .minecraft. Okay, if you want that, then the mod inventory tweaks config would go in the base of .minecraft, not in the resources folder. It only means resources in our way of talking here if it says resources inside of resources. If there's another folder in this resources called resources, then it means the resources folder. All right, guys, I'm going to go through and just add all these mods to see if there's any trouble, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, everybody, I'm back here. So I got all mods installed. All right, now some of them you probably don't want together, like maybe not even convenient inventory tweaks, for instance. There wasn't really anything different from what we normally had to do that I've described, like Peaceful Pack's another one you may or may not want, depending. But basically, I just had to go through and do what I have described so far. Now, I did go ahead just for the tests to see if I could add other mods that we might want for a more modern experience, right? I haven't gone into deep detail. There's more stuff that I would technically want to do. But let me go ahead and give you the list of total mods that this pack has on its own. So there you go. You could see it. You could pause the video. You know, I'll zoom in a little bit if it helps. There's the total mod list of every mod that got added and folders. Now, keep in mind, some of these are folders. And the folders you can't turn on and off. All right. But anyway, there's all the mods. There's some configs, peaceful config. Here's the mod list. I'll scroll it again for mod loader. This is all the ones. Now, I've added some. Okay, myself, like TMI Recipe and stuff, and I'll mention those. Now, not all of these mods, by the way, it's worth mentioning, will match up with their name, like if you add them. So you kind of need to track what's going on. I'll give you an example, like the Randomite mod is really named in its config. Let's see if I can find it here. Random matter. Okay, random matter. Now, there is one that was special to the pack. They must have coded it for the pack called this is Raphael. And I never could find out what it was named. It's named something weird in the list. I think it's named like Stick or something. It's you know, I think they just copied a existing mod. I'm not sure if it might be Stick mod. Not sure. It's named something weird. But anyway, that's it. It does load. I haven't tested that everything works. Just that it loads without error. That's the same thing with the mods I have added. I just wanted to see if they would load without errors. So I have added Optifine, number one. So, or not number one, but the first mod is Optifine. So I added G, it loaded. There's all the options in video settings. Seems good. I didn't get an increase in frame rate. I got a little decrease in frame rate, but I have more options. Haven't tweaked it out yet. By the way, here's my final list of mods: Seasons, RPG, Israel, Ninja Ghost, Mystic Ores, Peaceful Pack, Randomite, Convenient Inventory Tweaks, Somnia. That's all the ones that was added down to Somnia in this list that was added by YogBox. Now I went through and added TooManyItems and TooManyItems Recipe. Okay, so I now have TooManyItems. I'll go ahead and make links to these files, to this Optifine, TMI Recipe, all that stuff, so you'll have them. And then I added single player commands. Okay, and then this stuff seems to work, but I haven't tested it in detail, like especially TooManyItems. You know, there's certain ones that'll crash depending upon, maybe not in here. I don't know. You know, you have to go through and test. But seems okay. I scrolled through all the pages. We'll do that. Seems okay. So let's do that. Oh, we get this world edit thing. I'll just mention that, what it is. I'll show you so you don't get an error, just in case you run into it in the future. Since I added single player commands, yeah, I have a folder out here, MC mods, that I put some of my backup mods in. Beta 1.7.3, single player commands. It's looking for this jar, world edit jar, that's inside the single player's command folder, the mod folder. It's called world edit jar. It's the only thing I know of so far in doing these with multi-MC that you do actually add to the bin folder in .minecraft for your instance. You add that to the bin folder, worldedit.jar, for single player commands. And then it should be happy from there forward. All right, so let's launch again. And so, you know, definitely all the mods do work together, but it's probably not advisable to put them all together because you're going to have performance issues, and you don't need them all, would think, but whatever, your choice. All right, so there we go. See, now I don't have the error anymore. It says single player commands is loaded. There is TooManyItems. I do need to, every time I launch, do F3S so I can get the sounds. Sounds for the extra animals and such. I can now fly when I choose to by hitting T. It'll take a second for it to come up, but it will. You know, T and fly, that's for single player commands. Not sure why I took damage. Oh, I turned it off. I was flying. Okay, so it remembers it between logins, and I was flying, so I fail. A little laggy for dealing with single player commands. Doesn't surprise me. There's so many mods. You could optimize like where it's in the list and stuff maybe, but it definitely works. So you could do stuff like that. And you know, so you have all the single player command stuff available to you, which is quite powerful. Yep, you can hear all the sounds. We got all that. Here's the options for Optifine. So you could change all the graphics, fancy, fogs. So you could tweak it out now, you know, to get more control, quite a bit more control. So you could probably tweak out a decent frame rate. I'm at 50, 60 FPS recording video. That's good. I have no problem with that. It all seems good. Now, of course, I haven't built anything in the world. Chunk loading, of course, in beta 1.7.3 is kind of slow, like that. You'll get freezes and such. That's just how the engine was at that time. Not a lot you could do about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know how long this video is, but I'm assuming whoever watches it's motivated to know the information. So I'm going to just make it as long as it needs to be for my sake to answer as many questions as I can. But there you go, YogBox. And actually YogBox tweaked out a little bit for a more modern feel with it. And you can decide if you want to play that way. By the way, the TMI Recipe kind of is really cool because it allows you to autofill a crafting table with the recipe from TMI items, from TooManyItems, rather than just cheating everything in with it. So that's a thing. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully all that's clear now. Once you pick up these skills, you'll be able to transfer them over, which is why I'm making some detailed videos about it, because it's just a core set of skills on how to mod beta 1.73 and earlier versions of Minecraft with multi-MC. So anyway, this is Scott O'Mato. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.